Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last episode, we did the day one investigation. Right, to look into Will Powers in the studio. Trying to find as much evidence as we could. And hopefully this trial goes well as we thought. October 18th, 10 a.m. District Court Room number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Will Powers.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please.
The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in the Studio 1 of Global Studios. Is it impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime? The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness.
Very well, I must call a familiar face to the stand, Detective Gumshoe. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court.
Yes sir, and I'll explain with the guide map here. To this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studios, see? This here is an employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action sequences through the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that there are studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and the young woman at the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. And after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jumping into the later that day, 5 p.m., the production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal.
Sorry, I'm blowing to the mic, it's pretty hard.
Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear was found to the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again?
Should I listen to that whole thing again? Skip it. I think you could probably remember that.
So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval.
Samurai spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see?
Understood.
Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name?
My, you're a handsome fellow. I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please?
Oh, dearie. No need to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please? Seems Edward has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Just call me Grandma. Oh, I was an Oldbag, it's just my name.
He's just yapping, blah, 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 blah.
Objection!
Shut up! Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness of her being stupid and her annoying talking. I agree. Objection sustained. Come on, Judge.
The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the goddamn testimony.
Now, the witness was stationed on the main gate of the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, say I was.
And just get to the scene of the crime. Of the murder, someone will have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony.
She sure is one hell of an old bag. Damn old bags. Witness a testimony.
The day of the murder, I saw the guard station around 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-throughs there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. And it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., correct? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the stage studio.
You saw the defendant then, Very well, let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to go into the studio...
There wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You need an employee card key to get in.
Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is, no one was supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station?
Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning.
A run-through?
They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon. They were to use the afternoon for practice.
God, my voice is hurting.
Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5 p.m. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
So Powers is in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about the laid-back hero. If there was a one drew in the morning, why did you only get there afternoon? What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
Answer the question.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Yeah, you would. Yeah, this photo proves she was observing.
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see the Steel Samurai run through too. You could quit being a spirit medium to take up guard duty. Not a bad idea.
And it was this morning when I got to the guard station.
Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He already gone to the studio before I go back to the guard station.
Tell us what happened next.
I was at the main gate from then until 5.
So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks, not even a second?
Of course! I'm a professional, you know. Are you criticizing how I do my job, Whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eat those donuts in the guard station yesterday.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper Whapper.
Snipper Whapper? Old Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection?
So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right?
How did you know that?
Oh, I have my ways, that overdressed young detective told me. I fed some donuts and he talked and talked. He asked me the detective isn't cut out for his job.
Pepe Hen's Detective Gumshoe.
Poor old Detective Gumshoe, getting ratted out by a security guard.
Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m.
2 o'clock, you're sure?
Sure as spit.
Well, who was the man?
Hey, you should try not to get so excited at your age, you might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch, I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed towards the studio.
So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said, got wax in your ears, sonny?
Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time out to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again, it was him.
So we figured out just by seeing just one evidence. Yeah, you really thought it was Will Powers, huh? I present this. Let me get this straight, you old bag, Miss Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday you saw Mr. Powers, correct? You're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, isn't this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone could plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't. Edward's like, are you stupid? That's obviously a person in the costume. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is a Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Mr.
Witness, just call her old bag. She's a goddamn old bag. She's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man.
Of course I have proof. You do? Nani?
Huh?
Even Edward is surprised. Prosecution would like to ask the old bag, the witness. Please make all known information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I supposed to know? Everyone would be so nosy. You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to young detective.
God, my voice is hurting. I need to drink some water.
He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
I would understand Edward's reaction. Wow, Oldback has left even Edward speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Witness testimony of the man in the photo.
Never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers, happy?
So we had a sprain in his ankle? Very well, Mr. Ray, you may cross-examine the witness. She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
Never say anything. I don't mean mind you.
Okay, let's go back and press her. Oops.
Whippersnapper!
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
How have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs? Everything I said is on straight and narrow. Up and up, you've today, blah blah blah, fingers, blah blah.
Okay, she's yapping. Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edward has met his match. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Mr. Powers, he's the Steel Samurai, and poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing, just observing.
What, the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So you didn't see the run-through then? Trip and fall?
Yes, to the thing. He's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped him make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I guess the word hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we? We don't need to discuss any further details.
Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning our backdrops, I think. She didn't even know about Powers' ankle.
To continue your testimony.
He broke a prop. Sure did, his own samurai spear. His samurai spear, the murder weapon. Lucky I was there to duct tape him to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. What? How many chicken do you eat? I'll take the last chicken. Sorry guys, I was just discussing with my brother. I better write this down in this court record. There was a break in the shaft that has been mended with duct tape. Sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to the dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot where he walked. Dragging his foot, okay. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is his steel samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking though. Anyway, that's not important. I'm pretty sure that has to be important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it's clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Are you sure, Your Honor?
I object.
Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities. We have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. No one in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
Vince has a point.
I also wonder if someone else is not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue your testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Witness testimony again. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw to the studio was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this steel samurai who did it. Mr. Ray, you may cross-examine the witness.
Time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? How do you know that? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective, and then after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see. Detective Gumshoe shows his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. Are you absolutely sure? Well, quite, Sonny. Nothing suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody's suspicious looking, right? No one else went there. But what about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why was in the foyer before then? I locked up the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure? Objection! The witness has answered the question. Anyone has gone through the studio has passed by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy?
Edgeworth doesn't like that.
Old Windbags sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean. I feel you, Maya. That look on your face, I feel you. Old Windbags sure have a way of skipping over important details after all, or for the matter entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. I think we have evidence against that. Alright, let's see here. $2:30 p.m. Now this one is dragging one leg. Alright, let's present that. Objection!
Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken at the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
When anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right, anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that in the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Yeah, what about photo number 1?
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Order! Order!
Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Exactly that's what I wanted to ask the witness. Kevin showed that not one but 2 people went to the studio that day, yet there's only data from one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access to the security lady herself.
Eh? Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper! Only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, that's what it seemed to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help!
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I know what this means either.
Some help you, or you're a whippersnapper too?
Whippersnapper?
Is something the matter, Miss Oldbags?
Why did the screen turn dark for?
Oh, that's right! I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate, someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes. I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please.
Other witness testimony, other person.
Every day I finish my guard duties, I have one important job to do. I go to the photos recorded to the security camera, computer, and check them. I draw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it now, I remember drawing out one photo that day.
One photo? That could be important, Miss Oldbag. This is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I just remembered it.
Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
She threw out important evidence on the day of the murder. I say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kinda expected this. Another job.
That's right, I checked all the people that passed by that main gate that day. I looked closely at every one of the photos that the security camera takes.
You back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling to me, yes. Those computers are just so frustrating. Drawing any photos aren't suspicious looking, you see, okay.
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part.
But for the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Oh, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did it?
I think she's missing the point. Well, who the heck is that photo you erase?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They always hanging about one was there that day.
So this is new? Wait a second, didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area.
You mean that thing there in the bottom left?
The drain has been loose for a while now. It leads outside where they come in.
coming through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and
And?
they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So in the photo that you erase,
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
NANI?!
Order in the court! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on the way to the studios that day? One was Steel Samurai dragging his leg, and the other one was a boy who happened to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade?
Oh, yes, we'll see. His type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, not impossible for a young boy to wield a samurai spear.
Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, and that makes him a suspect. And they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And don't forget any vital information this time.
Mr. Powers,
Yes. Tell me straight.
were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in the security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off on the corner in the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
Nani?
You should have taken care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone who wanted to steal the Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only one likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We start talking to someone else. Could have conceivably have done this. Right. And we'll take it so long to shoot us down that we can get it another day. Right, if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go.
Where does that lead? Please don't sigh like that.
Why do I have to do this crying every time?
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgewood, would you present the prosecution thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The only other person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one who could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant of Mr. Will Powers.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with prosecution's claim. There is another person who committed this crime.
Order! Interesting. Let us hear what you have in mind, however. Be aware that this court does not look kindly on the accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right, as if the stakes weren't high enough.
Who was this photo other than Mr.
Will Powers that could have committed the crime? So, obviously the great boy couldn't do it because he couldn't wield the spear. The assistant girl, I don't know about her. I guess the one... My judgment leads to thinking it's the security lady. That's how I'm saying. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. It means whoever was in the suit knew about the morning's injury. Maybe because they have been watching the action scene run through. There's only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Miss Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper?
Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you!
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal a Steel Samurai costume. Instead, the studio wanted to see the murder, but what would it be our motive?
Why would she go through the trouble wearing the Silk Samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in the costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Will Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes too, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edward pounces? Doesn't he usually jump in with objection nudes and some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edward, does the prosecution have an opening on this matter?
Prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
Nani? What's that supposed to mean? Also, you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't you just sit there, do something!
What's my move? Now's my chance to take this whole new way. Let's press further. The very same reason that Mr. Powers is a suspect in this case can use to cast doubt on Mr. Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute.
The other person who went to the suit. You're really accusing the boy.
The boy! The one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was at that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it just being nice to kids and being mean to your elders? Whippersnapper.
I mean, I like being mean to old people and being nice to kids, but it's really the other way around in like certain games I play, but we'll go with that. I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could have committed this murder?
Obviously, this is the fucking spear, right? Take that! Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could a boy have taken the spear if it's impossible?
I see. Would the witness care to comment on this?
No, old Windbag's speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edward, please find out more about the witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name?
Something Oldbag, Your Honor.
The prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Wait a second!
What?
I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree, me! I'm talking!
Oh great, stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, you must know there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? Meaning, wasn't Edward who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
Well, my lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. If you're going to accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag.
Mr. Riker, cross-examination.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something.
Okay. So you were told not to talk?
That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We're all in on it.
All in on it? Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
Now that's very important. The director. I should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Well, I'm surprised no one asked about it.
Who are these people?
The director was in the employee ear all morning and drew the run-through.
Was that it?
He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
That is important. Because they mentioned that Studio 2 was never used, ever. And now we're getting to the part where Studio 2, it has to be used. Studio 2. There was a Studio 2. Yes, Phoenix.
If you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was falling over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... This is a trial for murder.
I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they were giving me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talk. I think I've asked all the questions I had. Continue. So you were told not to talk?
That's right, by the Studio TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We're all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Oops. Okay. So we're actually in the studio.
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came.
I'll kill this woman. I swear it. True, Edgeworth. I would love to kill this woman, but we can't do that. I feel sorry for Edgeworth, almost. She really left him hanging on this one. Damn, man. Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director. I should have known something was fishy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, where? Yep. Okay. Okay. I think we got every info we need. Let's take a break. You have learned there are others at the global studios on the day in question. The director and the producer or some bigwigs were all present. As yet we stand here, they have not been questioned. How that is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness Oldbag. More information about these other people we've just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This Oldbag didn't give me all the information. This ends the proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. As all, this court is adjourned. One full 4 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Or should I?
We'll be going down to the studio and do some more investigating.
We'll have to find out about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, how we figure out who it was in the steel samurai costume? Could it really been the old windbag? What do you think, Mr. Will Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor Windbag, I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Alright, I think that's it for today. Alright, so that'll be it for today's episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So next time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, we'll be doing day 3 of the investigation? Day 2? Day 3? I don't know, but we're gonna do another investigation for another trial. So see you guys all next time.